So I'm out in the run today for a little bit of an introduction. Welcome to the Broody Bantam page. This is my coop right here behind me. And I'm out here with my flock, and I'm working with my dog to try to get him to be used to hanging around with the chicks. As you can see, he doesn't mind them very much, and they don't mind him. He's stealing some of their treats, and they're here being assaulted by ducks who are upset that I don't have any treats. They're eating my boots. But as you can see, the puppy doesn't mind the chickens. The chickens don't mind the puppy. And we're working on, my hair's all over the place. We are working on getting him accustomed, and I'll take you on a little look around. Here's the puppy trying to steal food out of their scrap bin. And here's all the ladies flocked around me. This is my Cayuga crackers and my pecan cheese. Henrietta, our partridge cochin. That is Tafiti, our Easter egger. Hershey, our Cucamarans. Tamatoa, our blue cochin, but she's actually a splash. It's Lucy, our buff Orpington, and our Bantam Easter egger Paquita right there. We have Bree, our buff Polish. Laverne and Shirley right there, our black Australorp. I have Gladys, my Welsh Summer. And then over here, I have my Bantam mottled cochin. Louise Thelma was gotten by a hawk not long after we moved them outside. This is Dumpling, our silky white, our white silky Bantam. This is Hey Hey, our cross-beak silver-laced Polish. And this is Olive, our blue Falcona. Oh, Omelet, my factory rescue. She's a white leghorn. She's got bandages on her feet because we're working on Bumblefoot right now. Okay, sweetie, I'll be right there. I've got my white Bantam possible rooster. We're not 100% sure. Ann Biscuits, but I guess she'd be Antonio Biscuits if she turned out to be a rooster. Fran, our barred rock, and my silver Moran Dottie. So that's the flock. This is their dusting area. This is an extra shelter we have in here for when there's new animals, but we're not using it, so they just use this area to dust. And then I'll take you on a tour of the coop. So we built this 25 by 25 fenced in run for our girls, and then off of their coop they also have this little run that came with it, which is great when they were chicks, but now it's so small there's no way that they would be happy with that being the only amount of space we have for them. So we got a Leonard coop, one of the Leonard buildings. We really love it and enjoy it. It's got these locks on the window so you can open it up, but there's hardware cloth in here, and it's got these really nice hooks so that I can close it just like that, which is nice. It's holding open. In the winter it gets really cold, so we keep it closed. It's actually a lovely day today. But and they have a vent on the back that I'll show you. We also have a lock down here on our nesting box. I'm gonna open it up. Hopefully nobody's in here laying. Nope. And there's a hook here that you can hold the door closed as well. And we have 6 nesting boxes across here. No one's in. And I'll take you inside. Take you inside of the coop. This is our human-sized door. It comes with a lock and 2 keys, but we rarely lock it. So inside of the coop, you can see that's the vent in the back that we keep open to let it breathe in here. There's insulation in the roof, so it stays nicely a nice temperature. I drilled these eye hooks up in the ceiling and hung these ropes so that I could hang their feeders and their waters, but a lot of times I keep it up and keep those outside. The only time I put them back in is if it's going to be snowing. I don't think the girls are going to want to come out, but even in the snow my girls tend to venture out. We have 2 roosts in here that they all like to cram on, and plenty of floor space. These are the nesting boxes from the inside. We have 6 of them. These are the windows from the inside. You can see the netting cloth. I think that I'm going to whitewash the inside just to help keep the wood from rotting, but for the most part, there's a couple cobwebs up there. It stays pretty well. There's no smell. Our litter's pretty deep, but I do clean it out every so often. Otherwise, I just rake it around and add fluff on top. That's Dumpling coming in to say hey. Paquito is hiding an egg over here. She stopped using our nesting box and started hiding her eggs. So I pulled that out and marked it to see if she lays a clutch and decides to go broody. So we'll see. I'm going to lock that door back up and take you around to show you the vent. We actually have right here a pull-out floor that if you pull out, you can empty the whole floor. But since I built the fence so close, we don't really use this feature much. I normally just climb in there and take care of it myself. And this is our really heavy-duty vent door. It closes up just like this. And it's got a nice latch to hold it up when it's ready. And then you just pop that, and we leave it open most of the time so they get a nice cross breeze. And we normally open the windows to let them get some air too. And that's the inside of our coop. From the outside, this is pretty much our setup. We've got the 25 by 25 run, and about 6 feet inside is boxed in. They have access to that at all times, unless there is a sick bird in there, an injured bird, somebody I'm separating. Well, a sick bird I wouldn't actually keep in there because that's kind of close for quarantine, but like younger birds or something like that, we put the ducks in there when we first got that. So that's our setup there. And that's the coop from a distance. This is my very high-tech door, which is basically just the chicken wires stuck together with the carabiners until I have time to build something better. When you first walk into the coop, we have our calcium pan, which normally either has eggshells or oyster shells in it. I just put these 2 PVC feeders out that I made, and they seem to enjoy that. We have a small water here, and over here we have our scrap pans that we put any food scraps in. Our coop is right here, and this is the aviary netting. It's hanging. I need to put another support in here, but I just haven't had time. The snow pulled it down, and we had ice. So the chicken run is attached to the coop. There was a swing in there that they never learned how to use, but that's the ramp and the chicken door. Over here is their that quarantined area that we normally just keep the door rolled up when we're not using it. So they like to come in here and dust bathe because there's more loose dirt. Right through here is our larger waterer. It is a 3.5 gallon poultry drinker right here that everybody uses this, and this is kind of the water source for the ducks. It's not their pool. We have another pool that we let them swim in, but we don't leave it in here because it gets hard to change because we don't have a water source out here yet. I'm going to bury a hose out here when it gets a little warmer with the ground. It's hard and cold, but they will try to get a bath in here if they get a chance, but I just know they need something deep enough to get their nostrils, bury their heads underwater. But for the most part, this is our setup here at Broody Bantam, and we really enjoy it. It's a small backyard kind of thing, but we definitely have big farm dreams. I have tossed around the idea of doing some broilers, but I don't know yet. But oh, there's everybody hanging out onto the coop, and this is actually where the ducks sleep. The ducks do not like to go inside of the coop. I will put them in there if it's snowing, but I have to do it myself because they don't like it. That originally was the ducks' house, but they just slept in the center of the run, and now under here. So I just keep this full with fresh bedding, and they make a happy home out of it. Olive just shook a lot of dust at us. And so, hey Henrietta, she's my grumpiest chicken. She does not like us. And here's my ducks checking out my pocket because I didn't bring anything. I didn't bring anything with me, ladies. I brought it earlier. I've been out here for forever. No, thank you. No, thank you, please. But yeah, like I mentioned, I'm really new to this blogging thing, and I'm not a good editor and I'm not a good writer, and I hope to become better, and I hope that it's something tolerable that y'all can watch and follow along with me on this journey. But I am really passionate about my chickens and ducks. I really enjoy this. I work really hard to keep them happy and healthy, and I just want to share with you what's to come. Bye.